Aye. Yes. I want to do the symbols of Eze. What I'm gonna do is like, so you can see my hand. Wait. Eze, River Rich Eze. Let it all work out. Let it all work out. Let it all work out. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy. So how you doing? My Arsenal futurites, brothers and sisters, how you all doing, man? It's so the last, I must say, the last 24 hours or so, I've just been in a natural high. I was supposed to come on here yesterday. I apologize to do a quick reaction, but I was eating and then I was talking to friends on the phone. Some of my Man United friends were phoning me up and bigging Arsenal up and bigging me up and stuff. And I was watching. Funny enough, I was watching Man United earlier. They're losing one, or they lost 1-0 to Everton at Old Trafford. I was sitting over there watching it on the Sky. Couldn't believe it. But hey, I'm hoping that all of you are all right and happy like me, you gooners out there. And I'm not going to admit the fans from other clubs who, at the moment are enjoying our victories. Big up to yourselves. Big up to all your clubs as well out there. I mean, some of your clubs are not doing too well. Some are doing well. But big up to all of you. It's not about just because Arsenal are doing well, I'm over here, I'm up there, and all of you are down there. We don't do that over here. Everybody's equal. But at the moment, our club, Arsenal, are really running things at the moment. And hopefully, we're still top by the end of May or whenever the last game of the season is, and we've won the title for the first time in 21 years. And hopefully, also to make matters even better for us, we win the Champions League because we've never done that. So we could break a record this season or two. And that hat trick by Eze, 4-1 to Arsenal. If you've been asleep for the last 24 hours, Arsenal 4, Tottenham Hotspur 1, and the Eberici Eze hat trick, the first hat trick by an Arsenal player in this fixture since 1978. 1978. I was not even one because I was born in 77. I was born the year before. So when the hat trick was scored by our legend, Alan Sunderland, I was probably about 6 or 7. I don't know what month in 1978 it was. I've got to check. But I was born in 77. I was born December 77. So it's quite possible that was only a few months after I was born. So I don't have any recollection of that game. But I'm happy that, finally someone has got a hat trick because I can't believe that Ian Wright, the likes of Ian Wright, Dennis Bergkamp, Robin van Persie, of course, the big king himself, Thierry Henry, Kanu, none of those guys, Alan Smith, Paul Merson, and there's many others who played for us since that time. Even people like Charlie Nicholas. I'm very surprised that none of those guys scored hat tricks in this fixture. It took a guy from Cristobal. He used to be in our youth sit up, and he was dismissed by us at age 13. He had to go all around to other clubs like QPR and so on, and then he ended up coming back to us, and he almost joined our arch rivals, Tottenham themselves, and we went in at the last minute, thanks to Andrea Berta, and got him back to the club that he loves and the club that he supports as a boy and still supports, and much of his family supports Arsenal as well. Got him back, and so far Eze has been kind of quiet this season, but he finally has arrived and to score a hat trick, and it wasn't just any old hat trick. The 3 goals he scored against Spurs, uh, they were all master strikes. That second goal just after half time. I don't even think it was a minute after half time. It was about maybe 50 seconds after half time. He went forward, the ball into the box, and he's at the edge of the box. He just picks his spot perfectly. Absolutely brilliant. Picks his spot perfectly. I said in edge of the box. It wasn't crossed into the box. It was the first goal. Sorry, the second goal he scored when he got found and he just played it through. I think it was Declan Rice. Was it Declan Rice? I think it was, or was it Zubamendi? I can't even remember who laid on that second goal. But that was a quality goal. That made it 3-0. Of course, our first goal was scored by Leandro Trossard, who's playing really well this season. And he scored a wonderful ball that was by Mourinho to find him. And then he swiveled and turned and made it 1-0 to us on about, I think it was about 35 minutes. And that was 1-0. We could have scored in the first few minutes of Declan Rice. I think it was a brilliant, the ball came through and then I think it was Mourinho. Excellent ball. No, it wasn't Mourinho. It was Eze himself. Sorry, he chipped the ball forward, and then Rice went forward and had a shot. He should have placed it either side of Vicario, but he placed it right in front of Vicario. And Vicario was able to save it. That could have been 1-0. The white one was on the wall then. Then we kept going forward. Spurs didn't really have anything in the first half. We kept going forward, and then we scored that goal from Trossard. And then a few minutes later, Eze scores to make it 2-0. He just gets the ball, goes around a couple of plays and places it past Ricario for 2-0. And then first minute of the second half, as I said, on about 50 seconds, so barely a minute actually, he got found at the edge of the box for 3-0. Brilliant drive. I think that was probably his best goal, that second goal he scored. That was a more or less that was outside the box. Excellent job. But you see what happens when we shoot was I think one of the criticism of Arsenal is that we don't shoot enough. We need to shoot more. And when we shoot, we actually find the net, like Zubimendi did against Forest early in the season. We need to shoot more. We can't always walk the ball in the back of the net. And that walking the ball in the back of the net has been there from since Arsene Wenger's days. So we've got to kind of stop that now and just go for goal. And when we go for goal, we always normally say we always score, but we at least get them on target. We score sometimes. We need to do that more often. And we need to play at a quicker pace. We need to, our passing, especially around the box, needs to be a lot quicker. I know that we just won 4-1 against Spurs, but we could be even better because we could have won at 6 or 7-1. You know what I mean? And even games have gone past even the game against Sunderland, we could have won that game. We could have won up at Anfield. You see how Liverpool are losing games left, right, and centre. They lost to Forest on Saturday, 3-0. Since when have we been up there and even won? So we need to, when we're attacking, we need to do so with a bit more of a cutting edge and a bit more thrust and a bit more, I want to say urgency, but a bit more quickness. There needs to be more speed, a bit more speed to our play, to our approaching play, and in the opposition's box. I'm about to have some food now, so I'm kind of like waiting for it to warm up. I'm walking around the room, and then they scored a good goal. I call him misery guts because he's also bloody miserable. With Carlson, I don't think I've ever seen that guy smile. With Carlson scored from a lob, a mistake by Zubimendi about 50 yards out, and then Richarlison took advantage of the loose ball and he just lobbed our goalkeeper, Raya. He was always off his line, but I think someone said the reason why he's always off his line is because Arteta probably tells him to play like that. But he should have been more further back, nearer to his goal line. But anyway, he got lobbed. As he tried to run back, as he's running back, the ball went over him and he couldn't. It was too late, and it was already in the back of the net, and that was 3-1. So they pulled one back without really doing anything, without really threatening. And then a few minutes later, about 15 or so minutes later, I think, 15 or so minutes later, anyway, we scored a fourth. Eze, excellent goal, excellent play shot. He kind of like, it reminded me of a goal that Gabriel Jesus scored for us against Manchester United maybe about 2.5 years ago. It was funny enough, it was at the same end, and it was the last goal in that game as well, when he kind of like sold Dalla like a dummy, and he sent him to the cleaners, and Dalla slid in and he went to that side, and then Gabriel Jesus picked his spot and went to that side. It was a similar goal to that, but this was more central. And then Eze, he kind of like dummied the ball, and in doing so, he sold, I can't remember who was it in Doge or whatever his name is. He sold in Doge to the cleaners, and then he just picked his spot, and he was never going to miss from there, and makes it 4-1 to the Gunners. I'm so elated, but we're going to come back. This is just a quick late reaction. I should have done this yesterday, but as I told you earlier, just I was sort of cold yesterday, man. So you got to allow me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for to you guys who've liked. I think the last video I did, the preview of the game, got nearly 1,000 views, and one of our most viewed videos to date. It got nearly 1,000 views, and it got some likes. So you showed it a lot of love. Keep doing the same to all of our videos, including this one. You can hype it if you can. Leave your comments. Leave a like on the videos. Helps. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're going to be back tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to come back and do a proper review of the match between Spurs, our 4-1 win. And I might even do some ratings, some player ratings, because people have been asking me to do player ratings. So I think I'll do player ratings. I might not do player ratings for every match, but particularly for the big matches like this game here, the North London Derby. Maybe when we play against Man United, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, those sort of teams, and then when we're playing the Champions League against top like Bayern Munich, I might do player ratings for those matches. But for the lesser games, like no disrespect, but when we're playing against like a Burnley or Wolves, I won't bother with it. But when we play against the top teams, I'll probably think about doing the player ratings. You know what I mean? So we'll keep an eye and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah. But so far, this is a quick reaction with video, and I'll do a proper review tomorrow, and then we're going to look at Bayern Munich on Wednesday, on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. We're going to look at Bayern Munich, and we're going to do a preview for that one. Some say the two best teams in the world right now, and the two favourites to win the Champions League. Some are even saying that if they avoid each other, it could be Bayern Munich against Arsenal in the final of the Champions League. But there's a long way to go. So I don't tempt fate. So listen, you take care of yourselves, and if you're an Arsenal fan, I'm sure most of you are, keep enjoying it. Enjoy the moment, and I'm man. Just enjoy the moment, and then we'll see you back here again tomorrow. Yeah, you take care of yourselves. Yes, the little workout is a the little workout is a adios.